I'm gonna say something that might get me in trouble. A lot of wedding vows sound the same. I love you forever. I promise to always be there. I vow to hold your hand through every adventure. I promise to love you on taco night, laundry night, and every night after that. And listen, I'm not hating. That can be sweet. But sometimes I'm standing there photographing the ceremony thinking, where's the honesty? Where's the depth? Where's the real story? Where is the part that sounds like the actual person standing in front of you? So today, I want to break down how to write wedding vows that sound emotional, specific, true, and without sounding like you copied them from Google at 11:47 p.m. Hey, I'm Steve Barnett, and I'm a Pennsylvania wedding photographer. I photograph weddings throughout central Pennsylvania, including Harrisburg, Hershey, Lancaster, York, Gettysburg, and the surrounding areas. Today, we are talking about wedding vows, specifically how to write wedding vows that actually sound like you. Because I photographed a lot of weddings and I love vows. Honestly, I do. Vows are one of the most meaningful parts of the entire wedding day. But I have also heard a lot of vows that sound like they came from the same internet drawer. You know that drawer. To have and to hold, to choose you every day, to be your best friend. I love you more than words can say. I promise to always laugh with you. I vow to share my fries. And listen, none of those are bad. They're not wrong. They're not illegal. No one's getting arrested by the wedding vow police. But sometimes vows can start to sound safe, generic, polished, but not personal, sweet, but not specific. Like the couple went looking for the right words, but forgot to bring themselves into the room. And I get it, writing vows is intimidating. You're trying to summarize your love, your relationship, your history, your gratitude, your promises, and this entire emotional life in front of everyone you know while wearing formal clothes with the microphone nearby. No pressure, totally casual. So if your first instinct is to Google examples or, run to Chat GPT or search Pinterest, I understand. I get it. But here's the problem. Examples can help you start, but they should not replace your story because your vows should not sound like a wedding blog wrote them. Your vows should sound like you, talking to the person you are choosing. So let's break this down. I want to show you a simple way to write vows that feel honest, specific, and emotional. And I'm going to use a small example here. Imagine if your vows started like this: you were everything I didn't know I wanted. That line works because it's not trying too hard, it's simple, but it has emotional weight. It suggests that the person changed something, they surprised you, they became important in a way you did not expect. That's a strong opening. So, step one is this: start with the truth underneath the relationship. Not the timeline, not the resume, not, oh, we met in 2019 and then went on 3 dates and then got a dog. That can be part of the story, but that's not the emotional center. Ask yourself, what did this person become for me? What did I not expect? What changed because of them? What did they make me believe again? What did they bring into my life? This is where vows start to feel personal. Maybe your line is, you became my calm. Or, um, you made home feel like a person. You loved me in a season when I did not know how to let myself be loved. You were the surprise I did not know I needed. That kind of opening gives your vows a heartbeat. The second step is to use maybe statements. This is one of my favorite ways to write emotional vows. Instead of trying to explain your love perfectly, you let yourself wander through it. For example, maybe it was the way you loved me from the start. Maybe it was how you were there when I fell down. Maybe it was the consistent laughter. Maybe it was the warm space you made. The structure works because it feels human. It feels like someone trying to understand how love happened. Not in a stiff, overwritten way, but in a real way. You're basically saying, I don't know the exact moment I fell in love with you, but I do know all the little reasons it happened. And that's beautiful. And that can be a template. You can use it. Write down 5 to 7, maybe it was lines. Maybe it was the way you made me laugh when I wanted to shut down. Maybe it was how you checked on me after long days. Maybe it was the way you remembered the small things. Maybe it was how safe I felt around you. Maybe it was how you made ordinary days feel lighter, the way you became my favorite part of coming home. Those lines are specific enough to feel personal, but flexible enough that anyone can adapt them. The third step is to include emotional honesty. This is where vows start to matter because perfect love is not interesting. Honest love is. In the example, there's a line about being too scared to feel something for someone again. That works because it tells the truth. It does not turn the vows into a therapy session. It doesn't overshare. It doesn't make the ceremony uncomfortable, but it lets people hear that this love costs something. It required trust, courage. It required opening up. That is where vows get real. You don't need to tell your whole life story, but you can name what was true. Maybe you were scared. Maybe you have been hurt. Maybe you didn't expect to trust someone again. Maybe you didn't think love could feel peaceful. Maybe you were used to doing everything alone. Maybe you didn't know how much you needed softness. That kind of honesty makes vows feel alive. Now, a quick warning disclaimer: do not turn your vows into a list of trauma. That's not the goal. Your ceremony does not need a 3-part documentary called Everything That Hurt Me Before You Arrived. We are not doing emotional tax returns at the altar, but a little honesty, that matters. The fourth step is to show, not just tell. Instead of saying, you are amazing, tell us why. Instead of saying, you are kind, show the kindness. Instead of saying, you make me feel loved, describe how. Maybe they make coffee for you. Maybe they know when you need quiet. Maybe they touch your shoulder when you are overwhelmed. Maybe they send you ridiculous memes. Maybe they bring you food without being asked. Maybe they sit with you when you are anxious. Maybe they made your family feel welcome. Maybe they remember the version of you that exists when you're not trying to impress anyone. Specifics make vows feel real. The fifth step is to include gratitude. In an example, an ending could be, all that I have left to say right now is thank you for being everything I didn't know I wanted. That ending works because it returns to the beginning. It feels complete. It starts with the idea that this person was unexpected and then ends with gratitude for that exact thing. It's a simple writing trick. Start with an emotional idea, build a story, return to the idea at the end. It makes the vows feel intentional. So if your opening is, you became my calm, your ending might be, so today I promise to protect the peace we have built together and to never stop being grateful that I found calm in you. If your opening is, you made home feel like a person, your ending might be, I promise to keep choosing this home we are building, not just today, but in every ordinary day after this. See how that works? You're not just ending randomly, you're choosing and closing the loop. The sixth step is to make actual promises. This is important because vows are not just love letters, they are promises. Beautiful words are wonderful, but somewhere in there, you need to say what you are committing to. Not just, I love you, but more like, here is how I will love you. And please make the promises feel real, not perfect, but real. I promise to listen even when I want to defend myself. I promise to keep choosing you when life feels ordinary. I promise to make room for your dreams, not just my own. I promise to laugh with you, but also to sit with you when things are heavy. I promise to protect the friendship underneath our marriage. I promise to be honest even when honesty asks more of me. Those are vows. They're not just cute lines, those are commitments. The seventh step is to sound like yourself, and this is another crucial part. If you're funny, be funny. If you're more soft spoken, you can be more soft spoken. If you're emotional, you can be emotional. If you're not a poetic person, don't suddenly become a candle commercial. Your vows do not need to sound like a movie, they need to sound like you. Because the person sitting across from you is not marrying a Pinterest board, they are marrying you. So if you would never say, my soul has searched through lifetimes to find your luminous heart, please don't say that. Unless that is genuinely how you talk, in which case, live your Renaissance truth. But for most people, simple is stronger, clear is stronger, honest is stronger. The eighth step is to edit out the filler. Because when you first write vows, you're going to write freely. Get it all out. And then go back and remove the lines that could have belonged to anyone. If the sentence could be copied and pasted into a stranger's vows without anyone noticing, make it more specific. I love how kind you are. Fine. But better, I love how you notice when people feel left out. And somehow always make room for them. I love how you make me laugh. Fine. But better, I love how you can make me laugh in the middle of a day I was determined to hate. That's the difference. The ninth step is to practice out loud. Please practice. Not because you need to perform, but because some lines look beautiful on paper and then feel like a tongue obstacle course when you say them out loud. Read your vows out loud. Hear the rhythm. Notice where you stumble. Notice where you get emotional. Make sure the words sound like something you would actually say, and if you cry, that's okay. Build in a breath. You're allowed to pause. You don't have to race through one of the most important days you will ever say. The 10th step is to keep the length reasonable. I know you love them. I believe you. But your vows do not need to become a limited series. Usually 2 to 4 minutes is a great range, long enough to be meaningful, short enough that your guests are still emotionally with you. If you have a lot more to say, write a private letter too. You can give it to them before the ceremony or after the first look or on the morning of the wedding itself. Your vows don't have to carry every single word you have ever wanted to say. You just need to carry the ones that belong in that moment. So here's a simple vow template you can use. Start with emotional truth. You were everything I didn't know I wanted. Then use maybe statements. Maybe it was the way you. Maybe it was how you. Maybe it was the moment when. Then include a little honesty. I didn't expect. I was scared. I didn't know. I had forgotten. Then show specifics. You do this. You make me feel. You always notice. You remind me. Then make promises. I promise to. I vow to. I will. Then return to the opening idea. So today I thank you for. So today I choose. So today I promise. That's the general structure. truth, memory, honesty, specifics, promises, gratitude. That is how vows stop sounding generic and start sounding like you. And honestly, that is why I love helping couples think through their vows, because the ceremony is not just a photo moment. It's not just a part before the cocktail hour. It's the part where you say the words, the real words, the words that make the whole day mean something. All right. So, if you are planning a wedding in Pennsylvania and you want a photographer who cares more than just about the photos, I want to talk with you. I want to help you feel comfortable and prepared and present anywhere from us talking all the way to delivering your gallery and the emotional moments that make your wedding feel like yours. Head to my website, send me an inquiry, call me, meet me if you want to book me. Tell me what you're planning. And if you need help making your vows sound like you, I'd be honored to help with that too.